Hello, Crafty Journaler. Welcome to the Crafty Journaler. My name is Sarah. This is my channel where I do a lot of fun crafts. If that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell, let a friend know that we're here. That way we could grow this channel together. Today we're going to be continuing to work with envelopes, and we're still not going to be doing something too hard or anything. We're just going to kind of level up our game a little bit. So we're gonna be working with a envelope. You could do junk mail envelope or just these type of envelopes. I usually get them at the thrift store. Sometimes you could find a whole bunch for like cents to a dollar kind of thing. I actually bought a box of these and a box of like a little bit of bigger size for like $2 way back when. I know that thrifting is a little bit different now. I haven't been thrifting in such a long time, but I know it's changed a little bit. So I'm not too sure if it's still as cheap, but you'll still probably be able to save some money buying stuff like this at a thrift store as opposed to a retail store. So I got this at the thrift store. I'm also going to be using a piece of newspaper, and this is going to be back to my envelope here. I'm going to be using some alcohol markers, my pencil, and then we'll see what else we need to use along the way. I believe glue. But yeah, let's just have fun. We don't need to overthink anything. We're just going to have some fun. I'm going to start by gluing this down to my newspaper here, or the envelope to the newspaper to the envelope. I use a lot of envelopes in my journals to either keep like journaling that I've done throughout the day on like pieces of paper, or I'll also add like pictures or, just keepsakes. That's usually how I use envelopes in my journals, um, like personal journals. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna, with a bone folder, kind of smooth it down as much as possible, because this is, after all, a glue stick. It's not going to be as strong as if you were to use like Mod Podge or another stronghold glue. But since it's just to work easy, breezy, it'll do the job. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut this to size. So okay, so now we have this here. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to doodle just something easy breezy. But before we do that, let's go ahead and fold this, because really this part we don't need to use or draw on. So we're going to doodle something cute right here. I think I'm going to go ahead and start with a flower. So because flowers are easy, so we're just gonna do a half pie circle there, or a fourth, just a little line, a curved line right at the corner. And then here we're gonna start with a petal. Okay. And then go to a big petal leaf right here. We're not trying to be perfect. We're kind of letting our inner child take the dry green seed and just kind of like mocking up a flower. Once we get the flower down, we'll use some alcohol colors. As you can see, I'm not really trying to cover the whole thing. I'm just kind of adding some color to the envelope. So now we're going to use this like pink orangey color to put right here. I am also going to go over the rest of the flower petals with it to just kind of, again, give depth and dimension to the whole flower. I guess dimension would probably be the more accurate term to use here. Okay, and then the center of the, or not the center, but right here, whatever this is called of the flower, I am going to be using this color here. And with this same color, I'm going to do this petal part. I'm going to add a little bit more depth on some areas of the petals here. Okay, so now we've colored that in. We're just going to define it with a pen here. Or not a pen, but like a fine point Sharpie marker. I like to, when I'm doing stuff like this, to go over it with the marker a couple of times. I like the look of it. I think it looks so whimsy and effortless and just kind of like fun. I don't always do that, but I feel like a lot of the times I do that. Now that we have our cute little envelope here, I am going to glue this down. So I'm going to use my glitter glue. And then what I am also going to do here, just to make sure that this doesn't start peeling off as easy, I'm actually going to use my washi tape here. And I am going to place some right here. I'm going to do the same on the opposite side here. And then we're going to cut that Okay. One thing to keep in mind though, if you really, really want this to be like long lasting, or if you're going to be touching this envelope a lot in your journal, there's a couple of things that I would recommend. One, I would recommend that instead of using a glue stick, you Mod Podge it on. Leave it overnight to dry, then do the drawing or whatever doodle you want to put on your envelope here. Your washi tape, when you do add washi tape, you might want to back it with some more glue just to give it extra grip, because washi tape tends to be a light grip kind of tape. So most likely it will come off if you're overly aggressive with it, I guess. If you're maneuvering it too much or opening and close it too much, that might fall. So something to think about. If you wanted to continue to add to it, I would personally add like a little something right here just to give it a little extra, but you could either leave it here or you could continue at a later date. I think that because we're already here, we're gonna go ahead and decorate this part right here a little bit. I'm gonna use more of that washi tape. I'm gonna start by putting it right here. And then I am gonna add a little bit of this paper here that I made a while back, and I hadn't used it, so that would be a good time to use it. So we're gonna put that on there. You know what? We're gonna put this side up. And I think a little butterfly here would look cute. Since the flower is more on the orange side, we'll use an orange butterfly. Okay, and now we have this cute little envelope. You could distress it if you want to. Add some distress ink on the sides. You could leave it as is, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it as is. And then you could put it in your stash for when you're working on your journals. A lot of the stuff that I'm making right now is things that you could just grab and like they're ready to use in your journals. The way I usually work on my journals when I'm going to make a full journal is kind of in a more assembly line kind of situation where I already have a lot of things made and I'll just pick out from them when I'm filling up my journals. I just find that easier to work with because sometimes I feel like I have all the ideas at once, and then sometimes I just don't. I blank out. So yeah, it just depends on how you're feeling, I guess. We're gonna move on to working with a envelope, a junk envelope. What I'm gonna do first is I'm actually gonna cut these two sides that I want to use. I want to use just the window area here. Now that I have this, I am going to measure this to size. So I don't really have a plan. Like I said, I'm just kind of working with what I have, and I'm just kind of letting my creativity dictate where I go. I don't really know if I'm going to love it or not, but I'm just going to go with it. That's the game today. That's the name of the game for today, is go with it. We're gonna We're gonna collage on top of this a little bit. We're gonna use a piece of brown bag packaging, and we're gonna place it right here. Okay. Now we have this. We're gonna cut this down. We're going to put some splashing on here. I usually do this in a box. I try to protect my surface as much as possible. I have cut this box from when we were moving. I kept it, and now this is my spraying box. This is where I get to make a mess. I'm gonna use vibrant colors because why not? I'm gonna use this spray, this distressed oxide spray. It's the pickled raspberry because I feel contradictory. Although these colors seem vintage, I want to add a little je ne sais quoi to it. I really like how blue and pink look together. So we're going to use some of this Mermaid Lagoon Distress Oxide spray. And we're going to spray to the corner like that. Okay. This needs to dry up. I don't have the patience, so I'm going to go ahead and use my little hand blow dryer off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what we're left with here after we dried it up. So now that we have it like this, we're gonna add some, let's see, what can we add to the front? Let's fussy cut this out right here, and we're gonna add it onto it. Okay, we're gonna glue this down like this right here. And I'm gonna be using this right here, the art glitter glue. Okay, so now we have this here, and we're going to be slipping it into our envelope here, like this. Okay, and now we're going to cover the seam here. We're going to do that with, you got it, washi tape. I'm going to put this right here. And then I'm going to put this one right here. I'm also going to glue a piece of book paper right here. use some of that newspaper that we used earlier right here, like so. And then right here, I'm just going to add this piece of book paper here. We're also going to add this here, like so. Now, like I said before, in our last little project here, if you are looking for durability when you're making your ready-to-use ephemera, the best investment you could probably make in both your time and pocket is getting you a good stronghold glue. I genuinely love this glue. I think it works great. It's done great for me, even when I don't add like reinforcements of some type, like either sewing it down or anything like that. It works well for me. But I've seen other use different ones, like the Create Scott glue. I think that's one that I see a lot of people use. The UHU one, it's like a green and white vessel. So it just depends, like whatever you want to use. But yeah, the better your glue, the longer lasting it's going to be and all that fun stuff. Okay, so here we are. Now I am actually going to add a sticker on top. I think I'm going to go with like a blue sticker since the flowers are pink. I think 3, because why not? And now you have a journaling card that you could put in your journal. You don't actually have to put this in there the usual way, which is like in a pocket or tucked in somewhere. You can actually glue this onto your journal and either make it a flip page or a flip up or flip down or flip out. There's options on how to use these in your journal. My favorite way is to tuck it into the journal somehow with either a clip or into a pocket. But yeah. So today we made these 2 cute little envelopes. Well, worked with 2 envelopes, and one we just kind of upgraded it, upcycled it into a cute little collage type of art media envelope, and then the other one we made into a journaling card. Again, using art media, and we just leveled it up. We didn't overthink anything, we just leveled it up a little bit. With that being said, I hope your day is going great. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. The more you do that, the more my channel grows. Please, 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 if you are not yet subscribed, please be sure to subscribe, because if you don't, you might not see me again. So I hope you guys have a great day. Remember, your voice matters, you are important, and you belong. Have a great day, guys. Okay, that's a wrap. Bye. Owie. I just poked myself.